Strategy secrets that the pros won't tell you. Pickleball. Do you ever feel like you just don't know what to do to improve your game? Well, let us help you out. When I watch new players or players trying to get better, I see things that could be easily fixed, but I don't want to be the guy who gives advice without being asked. Here are some suggestions that will help you sharpen your pickleball skills. Try focusing on just one or two at a time so you can start implementing them into your game right away. Now let's get right into the video. Strategy 1. Shot selection. When a solid offensive shot is out of the question, a drop shot or dink may be your best option. Keep your opponent or opponents in the backcourt by hitting quick, deep shots. Play him or her mostly on defense. Make sure they can't reach the ball before attempting a drop shot or dink to the net. The lob is a tool that is overused by many players. When utilized inappropriately, it gives the advantage to your opponents and forces you to defend. The element of surprise is lost when a device is utilized too often. Sometimes a drop shot might be more efficient than a lob, yet players often resort to the lob instead. To learn more about the lob, go to the related article. And don't waste your time trying to accomplish anything spectacular with a ball that's below the net. A hard drive smash from below the net will have a path that takes it beyond the playing field, if it clears the net. Your opponent will likely just stand back and watch the ball sail by him if he knows you're going to make that drive. One possible exception is if you have the ability to come over the top of the ball and apply sufficient topspin to keep it within the boundaries. If you want to improve your return or serve percentages, try a gentle floating return to the back court. For a discussion on serving back, please refer to that article. Cross-court shots hit at an acute angle can be quite efficient, but they also have a high chance of going astray. If your success rate with off-center shots is low, try aiming straight down the center. You'll notice a major drop in your normal rate of mistakes. You would be surprised at how often a shot straight down the middle would throw off your opponent's aim. It's not uncommon for both players to go for the shot, or for both players to leave it alone. In certain situations, passing on a shot entirely is the wisest option. How to get those bonus points is explained in Anticipate the Out Ball. Strategy number 2. Pre-planned poaching. Poaching is best executed with a trusted playing partner with whom you have had the opportunity to hone your skills. Spending a brief amount of time before a pickup game to synchronize signals is another option. Improved signals like this are most effective when used with experienced players who are familiar with the tactic. The receiving team typically carries out a poach after the return of serve. Ideally, the receiver will return the serve deep and cross court. The serving team must position themselves near the baseline in order to play the return of serve, according to the 2-bounce rule. Typically, the players on the serving team would return the deep cross-court shot. The up player, the one nearest to the net on the receiving side, would then cross over to the opposite side in order to block the shot and go for the game-winning goal. As was previously agreed upon, a back player would switch sides. It's crucial that neither party gives away their intended move of poaching the other. Contrast to the opportunistic poach, the planned poach is a deliberate attempt to gain an advantage of the opposing team. At this point, it's too late to go back. The poacher is safe from both down-the-line shots on his initial side of the court and lobs over his head. For those photos, he's relying on his partner to take care of it. Strategy 3. The drop shot. Drop shots are returned softly from the baseline or mid-court, just far enough to clear the net and not far enough to offer your opponent a chance at an offensive volley. Like the dink, you want it to land firmly inside the no-volley zone so that your opponent has no choice except to accept it on the bounce or attempt a weak volley. You and your partner can advance to the no volleys line by using the drop shot. It's employed when your two opponents are both in the free throw line and you can't get off a good offensive shot. Hitting a shot to the backcourt will force your deep opponent to stay there. In order to get the ball to go necessary distance, the drop shot requires a very delicate touch, but once you've mastered it, it becomes one of the most potent tools. Keep in mind that a drop shot is essentially an approach shot. As a result, you and your partner will be able to move closer to the no volleys line. An opportunity is lost if a successful drop shot is not finished off at the goal line. Make sure you haven't hit the ball hard enough to give your opponent a slam before you rush to the line. Wait a second to make sure the ball is in a trap before charging it. Then dash to the foul line if the ball is headed in the appropriate direction for a drop shot. Strategy 4. Returning the lob. Anticipation is your best bet when defending against an offensive lob. If you are prepared for a lob and quick on your feet, your opponent will have a difficult time getting a ball over your head. A lob is a threat whenever your partner is engaging in a dink exchange near the no-volley line. It's possible that your opponent will attempt a quick lob if a short dink lures your partner to the net. Calling your teammate off the shot and covering the lob for him is not going to help much. It's crucial to get into position fast when playing the lob in order to maximize your power and accuracy. To hit a golf ball, take a few backward steps to position yourself under or slightly behind the ball, and then swing at full speed once you're in position. That's where all the authority and command are. Don't make the mistake of going backwards while trying to get somewhere else. Power and control are elusive goals while engaging in such behavior. If you frequently do this, try focusing on quick footwork before making a grab for the ball. It's best to play the lob in the air whenever feasible. You cannot make an overhead smash attempt if you let the ball bounce, and since your opponents know you won't be hitting an overhead, you've had time to get closer to the line. When you lose a lob in the sun, don't have time to get beneath it or fear it may go out of bounds. You may have to let it bounce, except when doing so would compromise your offensive advantage. You should always be going for the overhead smash, and you should never go backwards to catch a lob. Instead, you should turn and run. Strategy 5. Move in sync with your partner. Picture an invisible rope that prevents you and your lover from being more than 10 feet apart at any time. This connection acts like a tremendous magnet, drawing you towards your partner as he moves to grab the ball. To cover the middle, you and your partner will be dragged to the sidelines if one of you is called over to play the ball. Without the connection, there will be a large hole in the center. It's typical for players to stay on their side of the court to prevent the other team from scoring or getting to the ball first. The link's pulling force as one direction should be balanced by a reverse draw in the opposite direction. Whenever your partner approaches the no-volley line, you benefit from the gravitational pull of that link, which helps both of you gain an advantageous vantage point. Your partner is more likely to hit a slammable return if he is sent to the back court to fetch a ball. If you want to know what kind of return your partner is making, the link should bring you back with him at least partially. That connection is somewhat malleable, but it must never totally break. Strategy 6. Anticipate the out ball. Predicting the ball's speed and trajectory to set yourself up for a good swing is essential, but so is knowing when it's going out so you can avoid harm. See how often the best players gain easy points by moving out of the way or ducking when the ball goes out of bounds. Human nature is also predictable. You should always expect your opponent to try to hit the ball even harder the following time if he's already struck it as hard as he can and you have returned it. If you see the ball leave the court beyond the baseline, be ready to move aside and let your opponent score a free point. It's likely that you'll be hitting a lot of balls that would have been out if you don't prepare for the out ball. Strategy 7. Master the dink. In pickleball, the dink is among the best shots you can make. The dink's primary function is to prevent the other team from acquiring or maintaining an attacking advantage. When playing tennis, the dink is a soft shot that is hit just hard enough to clear the net, but not so hard that your opponent can volley it fiercely. Volley means to hit the ball before it bounces. A dink is usually the best option when there is little prospect of making a successful offensive shot. That's doubly true if your rivals are both near the net, at the no-volley line, which is the strongest position in pickleball. Avoid using a dink if your opponent is back at the baseline unless you are confident that he or she cannot reach the ball. If your opponent is in a position to attack the net, a dink will just bring them there. Maintain his defensive position with a deep, fast shot if he advances to the baseline. You should perfect the dink. Your rival has probably not thought of that. So, have you ever had an interaction with a pro pickleball player? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow picklers. Also, if you love pickleball, then make sure to watch this next video on our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.